Welcome back, Pause Menu Society. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Derek Daniel Ocean, joined by Big Money Sterling, Awesome Amy. Kobe's a bit under the weather today, and Jasmine is dealing with some things as well. So we're wishing both of them well. We hope to see them back. Kobe in our next episode. Jasmine, we don't know yet, but she is home and doing better. So prayers to my niece. Love you very much. We're gonna do this for you. And prayers to the brother Kobe. I know it's been a minute. It's been what, 3 weeks since we did an episode, y'all?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We apologize. That's not gonna happen again. We just life started lifing.
I went to
Ames had
Florida.
some you did. That was planned. We knew you were going, but before that, you had like a family situation come up.
Yeah, I did.
I can't remember what happened the week after. Like that week, we were gonna handle it, and then something came up, and then we decided to push it to the next week, and then
Should happen.
everything was kind of everything was kind of crazy last week. Like life was lifing. So anyway, we're back. We apologize for that mini impromptu break, but we're here today to catch y'all up on some things. I want to start with this very interestingly. So Charlie Sheen was on All the Smoke with Stack and Steven Jackson. Did y'all see this?
Not offhand. I've seen some clips, but not all of it.
Okay, so this is very interesting. Charlie Sheen played baseball in high school, and his best friend was an actor. I don't know if he's still acting. If you ever saw the movie Little Big League, where the old man dies and leaves his grandson, the Minnesota Twins, and then the kid takes over as the manager. You ever seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a black kid on the team. His name in the movie was Mickey Scales. That guy actually played baseball. He and Charlie Sheen are best friends. If you watch the Charlie Sheen Netflix documentary, he's in there. So Charlie did play high school baseball, and I guess that's one of the reasons they attracted him to play in major league. He actually was a pitcher. So in his heyday, I think he said he threw around somewhere between 80 or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm an adult now. I've put on some weight, so the velocity is probably going up." So they get him out there. Actually, before filming starts, he just decides to start throwing the ball around. And I guess somebody had a radar gun. That's the only thing I could think of. And he clocked himself at about 70 miles per hour. So to get his velocity up, Charlie Sheen being only Charlie Sheen, what do you think he did?
And this is high school baseball.
No, he's an adult now. At this point, fucking he's done probably, I think Major League comes, or I don't know if Ferris Bueller is before Major League. I don't know, but he's Charlie Sheen at this point. People know who he is at this point, right?
Okay.
It's probably got
So
something to do with some drugs, unfortunately.
He probably did some crack.
not crack. He did steroids. He took
Okay.
steroids. Yeah. Among other things that we know Charlie Sheen took, he gained 10 miles per hour on his fastball when it came time to actually shoot Major League. As far as the other guys, Wesley Snipes was apparently so bad that, and this isn't coming from Charlie, it's coming from other research on the film. If you notice, you never really see Wesley Snipes like making like plays in the game. They have those cutaways where he steals a bag where you don't actually see him run. The only time we see him run is when they put his bed out because he wasn't truly invited to camp.
He
And
was doing a
then,
training camp. Yeah.
so what they actually did, they slowed down the frame rate and they had the other guys basically jog in order to have Wesley speed past him like he had all world speed. But he was apparently so bad, it wasn't that. I guess by the time Major League 2 came, Wesley Snipes had been in New Jack City and some other stuff. He was pretty big. They just did not want to invite him back because he was just not a good ball player. So that's why he's not in the sequel. And that's when Omar Epps takes over as Willie Mays Hayes. But I thought that was interesting. It's crazy that steroids might be the least lethal thing that Charlie Sheen has put into his body. And steroids can be pretty fucking lethal. And it just goes to show you who the fuck Charlie Sheen is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So that was very interesting. I don't know. But shout out Charlie Sheen. I haven't seen or listened to the whole interview. I'm gonna check it out at some point. I don't. Is it still just HIV or does he have full blown?
Far as I know, last I heard, it was still just HIV.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, shout out Charlie Sheen
Shout
or
out.
whatever. I don't. He's an interesting character, man. That's all I'm gonna say. He is an interesting character. Um, but shout out Charlie Sheen.
Right.
Shout out Charlie Sheen. Yeah. That's about all we can say, and I don't dislike Charlie Sheen. I love Charlie Sheen, but it's like I don't know. Shout out Charlie Sheen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Thoughts and prayers.
Um yeah, T's and P's, thoughts and prayers. So prayers to our good brother Charlie Sheen. Charlie Estevez, technically. Emilio took the family name. Martin Sheen changed his name. I want to say what was Martin Sheen in? Like Apocalypse Now, I think. But before that, he did some other stuff, and I think he obviously understood. Let me ask you this: so before you were married, what was your maiden name?
Me?
Yeah, you're the only female here.
I know. What? I don't know what I was thinking. Castello.
Costello, that's right. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Yeah.
Um, did anybody ever? Did you ever get any comments about your name before you were married? Because I've only known you as Amy
Mhm.
S. Yeah,
I mean, I had people try to tell me how to say my last name. I had people mispronounce
really,
it. Yeah, yeah. They try to tell me that it's actually Castello, but it's not. It's actually Italian. It's Castello.
right?
Or maybe it's
Like Frank
Spanish. I don't
Costello.
know. Right,
I
exactly.
think
But
that
nobody
there's
gets that.
well, the thing is, there's like a pretty not super thin line, but there's a line when you're talking about European,
Hmm.
uh, Hispanic Europeans, like Spanish versus Mexico Spanish.
Yeah.
So I can understand how there could be a Costello, which is traditionally an Italian name.
And like there's also Castillo, which is at the end is ILLO instead of ELLO, which is how mine is spelled.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean that's the most that I ever really get out of it.
Yeah. So the family name is Estevez. I think in the documentary on Netflix, I think they showed there's another brother. I didn't know there was another brother who still goes by Estevez and Emilio goes by Estevez. Because I remember being a kid and they're like, yeah, Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen are brothers. And I'm like, wait, what? And then as I got older and did the research, it's like Martin Sheen went by Sheen for acting purposes, which a lot of people did. There's a lot of Jewish actors who went by a different last name, um, and Hispanics as well
Yeah.
because of like
Hmm.
bigotry. Like flat out, we know
Hmm.
it's because of racism. So I thought that was very interesting. But again, as we said, thoughts and prayers to Charlie Sheen. Shout out to Charlie Sheen. He's iconic. There's not another like him. I'll say that. Charlie Sheen is a one of
So
one.
iconic for sure.
Right.
The man.
Um, in other news, I thought this was very interesting, and I'm bringing this up because we have to, at doing this podcast, we have to pretty much promote on social media. So I thought this is very interesting. Meta and Google have been found liable in a social media addiction lawsuit, with a jury finding them negligent in the design and operation of the platforms. They have been ordered to pay $3 million in damages to the plaintiff, a 20-year-old woman who alleges she was addicted to their platforms as a child. Thoughts?
That's crazy.
That's
That's
fucking insane.
crazy. And she won.
She won $3 million in damages. Now I wonder how much of that her legal team would get, but she's $3 million
They're going to get
or
30%.
The fact that
Well,
she even has
okay.
a
33%.
legal team that will represent her in
Take
something
that.
like that, like what the I need to know who they
People
are.
have sued for less. I mean, at the end of the day, Facebook and Meta, they're so big, they're basically in the settlement class. It can be, I was outside of your building, I slipped on a napkin, I won $1 million. Instead of getting the bad press, they would just rather settle.
They'd
So
rather
they
settle.
probably settled.
This is interesting. The interesting fact about this is you don't have to log on to those platforms. You just don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember years ago when before Tyler the Creator kind of transitioned to being like a Grammy winner and his face was all over the place when during the Odd Future days where they just pissed off everybody and they didn't give a fuck. I remember him tweeting, "How the fuck is online bullying for real? Just turn off the fucking phone." And He's kind of right. He's kind of right. You just block people or just don't log on to the platform. Like if you can only bully me online, like do you have access to me personally? And you're not gonna say shit to my face. So like it's not online bullying. You're just an idiot. I used to like I remember when the Many Saints of Newark came out. So it'd have been like October of 21, right? And I'm a huge Sopranos fan. So I've been waiting for this movie. It's supposed to be how like the way they build it was how Tony Soprano became Tony Soprano, but in actuality, it was about Dickie Moltisanti, who was Christopher's father. And there, Tony was in the movie. Uh, he was played by Michael Gandolfini, who was the late James Gandolfini's son. But it wasn't a Tony Soprano story. So essentially, David Chase wanted to make a movie about the Newark riots that happened in the 60s, and HBO was like, yeah, but we just want more Sopranos. HBO and Warner were like dead set on they wanted more Sopranos. So David Chase was like, I will give you a Soprano story, but I'm really giving you the story of the riots and everything that happened as a result of it. Mm-hmm. When the film premieres, because it came out in theaters, but it also came out on HBO Max that day, because you're 21, we're coming out of the pandemic, but we're not totally out of it, right?
Right, yeah.
So I remember the YouTube comments, and this is probably the last time I went in the comments on YouTube, and like I've weaned myself away from Instagram comments and stuff like that and Twitter, and everybody was just like, it's woke. And I'm like, how is it woke? And there's too many black people in the movie. I'm like, have you ever fucking been to New Jersey? Like, do you know what New Jersey is like? Because like, there's no black people in New Jersey. I'm like, if you lost your fucking mind, I'm like, y'all will find any reason to be racist. It's Monday morning, time to be racist. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, literally, I saw people saying there's too many black people in the movie. Have you ever been to fucking New Jersey?
Clearly not.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? So that was the moment where, like, I'm responding to every fucking thing. This is some woke shit. I'm like, hey, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then that Tyler, the creator tweet rang off in my head. It was like, just turn the fucking phone off.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think
and that's literally.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here though. Okay.
Go ahead.
So we're old enough that we didn't grow up with social media. We didn't grow up with the internet. Like we went outside and played.
Exactly.
We rode our bikes, we rode whatever. So as kids who grew up with social media, that is their life. That is their outside.
It is.
So like it's hard for, I think, in my devil's advocate mind here, it might be harder for them to be able to just block or get off of social media for a while. You know what I mean? Because for them, they've been on social media for so long. They're so used to social media. Like if they clap back or if they block people, like that's going to cause more trouble for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just sad. Like, and even so when it's been like 2 months, I think, since Hot 97, like two and a half months since Hot 97 got rid of Ebro in the morning show. So I remember like the announcement was made that Ebro got fired, and then Drake messaged him, DM'd him like, "Die slower, pussy. We got something for you." So then Complex posted it, and I remember going, and this is the last time I went in the comments. I'm like, Drake would never say this to anybody's face. And then these people started attacking me. You don't know what he would do. I'm like, Puff punched Drake and dislocated his shoulder. He's not saying that to anybody. He just isn't. Not without Chubbs right next to him or security. And even then, I'm just like, I probably should have never fucking commented on this. But the funny thing is, a day later, I just keep seeing all these notifications. I'm like, why the fuck do I have all these IG notifications? And it was all these people liking it because they're like, he would never do that. We know, like, you're the guy that made I Better Find Your Love. And I'm not saying that R&B dudes are weak, because Boys to Men will whoop your ass. Like, New Edition came from the projects. Them niggas will get with you. We know apparently Hammer used to slap niggas around, so I'm not calling him weak because he made I Better Find Your Love, but like, we know who you are. You can claim this, I slide on niggas, whatever shit, but nobody's buying that. And that's the part that really got me. But again, that was a point I had to check myself, like, get out of these fucking comments, because you're never, like, these people who grew up, and even being a Drake fan, I'm not a Drake stan, because I'm a fan of many people, but I can find fault in the things they do. There's some times where I felt like um I used to be a huge M fan, and not to say I'm not anymore, but Marshall has not made a good album in a long, long while. It's been a long time. I was a huge Kanye fan. We all know that motherfucker. It's just like, I'm not here to shit on anybody with mental issues. I've always said Kanye is musically genius, but socially he's a fucking moron. You don't put on a Klan hood and say that slavery was a choice and think that I'm gonna buy your album. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's also
Um,
like keeping it separate too, like keeping the person separate from their art.
when the from the art, I
Right.
find that hard. I find that hard. I
You
can't.
find it
That
hard
See, I don't.
sometimes. You
I
don't find it
don't.
hard? I
Why
mean,
is that?
Unless it's something they did that's morally wrong
mhm.
to me. But even if it's morally wrong to me, I could still listen to the music and still not give a shit about them as a person.
Okay,
That's just
so
me.
who would you say is morally bankrupt? Like, has been just like morally fucked up? Just an example as an artist.
Kanye, obviously. R. Kelly, obviously. Um, it's still a lot of people that are hit or miss or what side of the fence they're on with Michael.
Mhm.
That's true. That is true.
Right.
So,
I have this rule, and this is gonna sound crazy. So you know when we get to the end of the year, everybody's doing their end of the year list and all that shit, right?
Mhm.
So Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, they all do one. So I'm like, if a song pops in my head and it's about somebody that's morally bankrupt, I will listen. I'm not gonna listen enough to where it shows up on my end of the year list, though. That's my rule of thumb. You will not see hours and hours of certain people. Like, I thought about, like, Sci was kind of making the rounds in the last month, and I was like, man, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy like was a moment. People don't understand how hard it is for a hip hop album to win Rolling Stone Album of the Year and Time Magazine Album of the Year. Like,
Right.
Kanye had literally, like, I don't think we'll ever see anybody in hip hop reach that mark. The closest at this point is probably Kendrick because of the Pulitzer, and now he's
mhm.
the most awarded rapper in Grammy history. But I don't know if anybody artistically will ever meet that bar. Like that, like,
Mhm.
imagine going on stage, and I'm not saying he created Taylor Swift, but she should send him a bottle of champagne or something every year, because my right hand to God, I knew who she was, but Taylor Swift did not, to the masses, she didn't mean that much until that Kanye moment, because then she became the underdog and everybody felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Like, and I will go to my grave, and like, I'm to the point where I don't care for Kanye personally, but I will still go to my grave. Was that a fucked up thing to do? Yes, but he put the public eye on her, and she's been exponentially bigger from that moment going forward. Like, it's not even fucking close. But so I did find myself listening to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy sometime last week, like, and I bought that album 3 times. I bought it on iTunes, I have the CD, and I have the vinyl. You know what I mean? But I do feel like Kanye West is morally bankrupt. I just think that, like, doing all that just to keep your name out when you don't have an album out, and then coming back and saying I'm bipolar and I didn't take my medicine. It's like, come on, bro, that's the easy way out. Just say you were on some
Yeah.
bullshit. Just say you were on some bullshit.
But I'm still gonna listen to some of his music though. Like I don't care. It's gonna show up on my top. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. I don't care.
The Bully album was supposed to come out Friday. If you go to Apple Music, the EP from last year is there, but that album's not there unless it's officially only on his website. Does anybody know?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard much about it for real. I just heard when it was supposed to drop, but
Yeah,
I haven't
he
heard no
posted the track
skips or
list and all
leaks.
that. I don't know, man. I could go for another Hove album. I really kind of want to hear when he's in the GQ interview. He talked about recording some stuff last year because with everything going on with the allegations and whatnot, he said that the music was very dark and angry, and he just didn't want to put it out. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to hear that. I kind of want to hear it.
I
I
kind
know
of
we
want to
never
hear that.
will.
I want to
Yeah, I know
listen
we
to
never
it.
will, but I just, what do you think of Oskino saying what he said about Bleak and Jay, like, dubbing him to do GQ? Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
So, Bleak has a podcast as part of the Drink Champs network, which is funny because Drink Champs is under Black Effect. It's like you sign to a nigga that's signed to a nigga that's signed to a nigga. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so Jay obviously did GQ, and Oskino was like, Bleak's supposed to be Jay Mans, and he went and did GQ instead of doing Bleak podcast. And Bleak was like, I wouldn't want Jay on the podcast. Like, we're not gonna be serious. It's gonna be a bunch of fuck you, nigga, fuck you, I love you type shit like that. I don't personally want to see, like, I love Bleak, and I think Bleak's podcast is dope. I don't know if I want Hove on that. At some point, maybe. I think I don't know if I want Hove making the podcast rounds.
I can't say that certain podcasts to get certain things off, I would like to see him do it, or just do interviews like he just did with people that he know and trust or whatever the case may be. But if I'm Bleak, I don't want him on my podcast just simply because I'm already trying to get out of that
shadow,
25, 30 years shadow that I've been under him anyway. So no, I wouldn't want to have him on the podcast just simply for that.
Yeah, Bleak has talked about it. That line that Ho said, Bleak could be one hit away his whole career. As long as I'm alive, he's a millionaire. Bleak has literally said he went to DJs when he was actively still recording, and he would go to DJs to give them a record. And they're like, no, Bleak, you good. Hove said it. You good. It don't matter. You don't need to do anything. And Jay has said that he kind of feels bad for that because people will think that Bleak doesn't have to work hard, and Bleak is one of the hardest workers there is. But that line may have got him in a position where it's hard. Like, it had been, Bleak put out an album last year. I'm trying to remember his last album before that. Fuck, was it 534?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Jay took over at Def Jam, and that was like, what, 05? Him and the Gunners came out like a week or two apart from each other. That was like 05 or 06 or something like that. So we're talking 20 years since Bleak did a record, which is crazy. I was surprised he actually put out another album. So no, I don't know if I want Duke beating that ass. There you go. I don't necessarily let's go Blue Devils. I don't necessarily want Hove on Bleak's podcast. I don't think it's necessary. I just don't think it's necessary, in my opinion. But if it was to happen, of course, that's going to be his biggest episode. But he's had Lenny, Big Face Gary, Just Blaze. He's had a run of like Young Chris, like people who were there for the Rockefeller heyday at the beginning. Now
Beans,
he's got like he did have, and that Beans interview was hilarious. Finding out that Beans had a pet alligator named Allie the alligator, and then Beans put a diamond Cuban on the alligator. Like, I'm like, yo, Mac was getting money and did not know what to do with it. But shout out to Beans, shout out to Bleak, shout out to everybody over at Rockefeller, man. That Rockefeller raised me.
Absolutely.
We would just open the CD book and like grab something. Inadvertently, it was going to be something from Rockefeller Records. So that's what we came up under. Yeah, I want to talk about this Floyd situation.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm impartial.
This
I don't really know. So
okay, so apparently the numbers are out, and this is apparently very, very real. So Floyd Mayweather, these are the facts. Sorry, I told you, it's fucking crazy. Floyd Mayweather never wore a pair of underwear twice. He employed someone full-time whose only job was sanitizing his car collection each morning. If a car hadn't been wiped down, Mayweather wouldn't touch it. The man spent $12,000 a week at one Japanese steakhouse every week. For years, at a party, he threw $50,000 into a swimming pool to watch strippers dive in after it. Floyd bought a $50,000 diamond-encrusted iPod, an $18 million watch with 260 carats of diamonds, a $10 million engagement ring for a woman who became his ex. Shout out Miss Jackson. The car habit got worse. 5 Bugattis, 16 Rolls Royces, a $35 million Koenigsegg. I don't even know what the fuck that is. And I love cars. His assistant mentioned he had just picked up his 33rd Mercedes from one dealership. Mayweather got tired of her borrowing his car, so he bought her one too. Then came the jets, a $60 million Gulfstream for himself, a second one for $30 million because his entourage was annoying him on the first. The gambling was its own beast. $5.9 million on a single NBA game, 6 figures on the Little Caesars Bowl. The Little Caesars fucking bowl, for God's sakes. That's not a major college football bowl. I just want that on the record. He averaged $1,000 a week in bets. One year, he reportedly lost $50 million. Thieves broke into his house and walked out with $7 million in jewelry. Floyd kept spending. Then the IRS showed up, wanting $22 million in unpaid taxes. Mayweather's lawyers told a judge his wealth was, quote, primarily illiquid. Asked the court to please wait 60 days because another fight was coming and he needed the purse to cover the bill. He paid, then bought the second jet. Now it's 2026. The first jet is sold. A court authorized creditors to seize his Bugatti. His strip club owes back taxes. He still owes Logan Paul $1.5 million from 4 years ago. His team asked Showtime to open the books on his career earnings. Showtime said the records were destroyed in a flood. Mayweather's plan to fix everything, fight a 59-year-old Mike Tyson in the Congo at age 49. Career earnings, $1.2 billion. Every line above that I just read to you is 100% real on Floyd Mayweather. Thoughts?
And that ain't even what's including what he owed him out for the gambling. So
That's insane.
Yeah, he didn't burn through a lot of money. But I mean, at the end of the day, just like everybody else is saying, obviously the story's doing the run of the mill on podcasts. If he was good for money, he would not. I think he's in 2026. He's set to have three fights, if not four.
Three for
That's
sure.
Crazy.
3 for sure.
That's crazy.
At his age of 49 years old. At 49 years old, and the body does not. He's 49. The body don't heal the way. Like, let me tell you what I did this morning. Mm-hmm. I did 2.5 miles in a 20-pound weighted vest and 10-pound ankle weights. Now, his physical routine is obviously leagues better than mine. Let me not even joke, right? I'm trying to get rid of this barrel. But the body does not snap back and respond the way it once did. Now, however, these are exhibition fights and they're not trying to kill each other. There are no titles on the line. So to say it could be a so-called walk in the park, maybe. I'm under the belief, and I know this because the rules came out after the fact, even at his age, at 60, Mike Tyson would have killed Logan Paul, or is it Jake Paul? Whichever one he fought, he would have really killed him. There was no knockout rule. Mm-hmm. When you handicap Mike Tyson like that, you get the fight that we got. If that rule did not exist, he would have killed that boy. I don't think Mike and Floyd have any malice towards each other, and I'm pretty sure that same rule is going to be in effect.
No, that's not necessarily true. Mike does not fuck with Floyd at all.
Really?
He doesn't. Simply because Floyd has monitored himself as the greatest of all time. And, Mike holds Muhammad Ali at a very, very, very high regard. In any interview, it's nothing crazy, but it's still Mike. So if somebody brings up Floyd, he's taking a jab at him, and he's been doing that for years. So he doesn't like Floyd as a man. So
do you think he's gonna try to tuck his ass in?
No, because there's too much money on the line. But
it's too much money. Floyd is probably one of the best defensive fighters. Like, everybody's like, you got to watch a Floyd fight. If you're looking to see some shit you saw in Rocky and Creed, that ain't the fight you want to watch. If you want to see a defensive battle put on, then yeah, watch a Floyd fight. He's not going to touch you. Him and Pacquiao were fighting again, I think. I think that's one of the fights this year.
That's one of the fights, yeah.
Yeah, but they were too old the first fucking time. They were too old the first time.
No, that fight would have been good. Pacquiao just didn't look right because they forced him to get off them damn them steroids.
I don't know. That fight was maybe. Let's see. He fought McGregor in 2017. I know that.
Yeah.
When did he fight Pacquiao?
I thought it was a little earlier.
It was earlier.
2008, 2009-ish, somewhere in
there. Oh, wait. 20 hours ago, Floyd Mayweather pumps brakes on rematch with Manny Pacquiao. It was 2015, the original. Let's see what the hell's going on with this one. 10 hours ago from US Today. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao could be in jeopardy. Okay, hold on. We got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Rematch between boxing legends Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is apparently in flux, according to Mayweather. Mayweather was slated to end his nearly decade-long retirement against Pacquiao on September 19th as a spear in a rematch of their 2015 blockbuster fight. those tickets are going to be super expensive because they don't have a true venue to sell out. The Sphere is nice, but it's not meant for sporting events. It just isn't. However, during a meet and greet at the MCM store inside Caesar's Palace on Saturday, Mayweather cast some doubt on the pending fight, telling Vegas Sports Today that it would actually be an exhibition and it might not take place at the Sphere. Quote, as of right now, we don't know exactly where the fight is going to be at. Mayweather said, we don't know the location of the fight. The Sphere is one of the places that they talked about, so we don't know if it's 100% going to be there. And this is not actually a fight, it's an exhibition, I'm sorry. Mayweather's remarks contradicted Netflix's announcement of the rematch in February, as well as a news release from Mayweather that stated he would resume his boxing career and had signed a multi-fight partnership with CSI Sports/Fight Sports. Pacquiao's team previously told ESPN that he would only face Mayweather in a sanctioned pro fight. Pacquiao ended his retirement last summer when he fought Mario Barrios to a majority draw. Mayweather, age 49, told Vegas Sports Today that he is still planning to compete in an exhibition fight with Mike Tyson, which was announced last year but has no official date or location. There is also no word on how the fight will be broadcast. Adding to the confusion is that Mayweather has announced another exhibition with Greek kickboxer Mike Zambitis for June in Athens, Greece, that also doesn't have an exact date, venue, or broadcast home attached. Still, it's seemed that they're coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao is a sure thing. Now it seems the future of Mayweather's boxing career is uncertain as ever. Quote, it's an exhibition, so we're both winners, Mayweather said, doubling down, on his rematch with Pacquiao, not being a pro fight. I mean, we just go out there and entertain the people and put on a good show. So they shot their mouths off and they don't have a definitive venue. I guess
the venue, I don't think is the hard part. They probably don't have a definitive sponsor for these bouts.
Broadcast. Here's the thing. So the NHL had the draft there, not last year, maybe the year before. And for something like that, it's perfectly fine because you only have like one wall of seats, right? The rest of it is like a staged area. So the picks would go down. They like in the NHL draft, you sit up in the stands with your family and all the teams have a table on the floor. And then when they call your name, you take your jacket off, you walk down, you put on the sweater and the hat, and you take your pictures on stage with the team brass and stuff like that. For a boxing fight, picturing a fight in the Sphere, y'all remember which one was the one where Drago killed Apollo? That Rocky?
That's
where they had a stage. Okay, so they had like a stage that Apollo and Drago fought on. That's the only way it works in the Sphere. Because there's not seating all around. It's not like a bowl. It's a half a bowl, essentially. And I would imagine Floyd being Floyd, he understands that particular venue is not a healthy venue to sell a lot of tickets because you have half an arena and it's not really even an arena size. Let's see how many seats are in the Sphere. $17,600 to $18,600. Let's see for boxing. So it would still be about 17.5 to 18.6 for boxing, with a maximum capacity of 20,000, including standing room. Seating covers about two.
That's not the bad thing, though, because at the end of the day, they're not really. I mean, ticket sales are one thing. They're going off of either what they're going to get for pay-per-view or what Netflix or one of these other places is going to give them for hosting it. Mm-hmm. So they could fight in a Cracker Jack spot. Really, it's just for the look if it's actually going to be streamed.
It sounds like they're probably trying to iron out the money.
That's what
that would be the big thing. The sponsor and figuring out what the purse is going to be. It's crazy he still owes Homeboy $1.5 million, though. That's the craziest part.
But it's not only just that. My thing is they've already calculated his debt and said what that's going to be. And they've already calculated, quote unquote, as close as they could get to what the purses are going to be for all three fights. And they say it still doesn't get him out of debt.
That's insane. That is fucking insane. But it's like you came out of retirement at nearly 50 years old to take 3 fights. One fight, you might just have a love for the game. But 3 fights in the same calendar year, yeah, everybody's looking like, yo, you broke. You really broke. You fucked up that money. Just tell the truth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then when you go through the list of things we just went through, like, Floyd looks fucking crazy. I'm not here to tell
50's an
anybody how to.
asshole, but 50 was saying this 10
50
years
was
ago.
saying it. He was. He was. He really was. And 50, 100% is an asshole. But he did say this. I'm not here to tell anybody how to spend their money. It sounds fiscally irresponsible. Having your car sanitized every morning, paying somebody that much for like you're not going to drive every single one of those cars. That's crazy. Buying 30 Benzes from the same dealership, the Bugatti, all the like. I just don't know, dog. I don't know. Floyd really, he's somebody who has to show his wealth, and that could end up being his downfall. It looks like we're at the point. I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just saying it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Thoughts and prayers to Floyd, man. I don't know. Ames, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
As a married woman,
Okay. Oh, here we go.
boy, I'm trying to figure out the right way to ask you because I know the answer in a certain aspect, but in this aspect, I don't know.
Okay.
Has anybody ever come on you, but not in the bedroom? The way you turned around.
What the hell?
Like, come
It's
on
gonna,
you or like,
it's gonna make sense in a second. It's like you never been in a Target and a nigga walk past you, you know. What I'm saying?
no, but you know what's really funny that you mentioned that? Someone did
Yeah.
that locally. Like a girl was in like the Dollar General or some shit here, like where I live at, and some
No
dude
shit.
just came on her fucking leg and ran away. Drake came on her fucking leg and she was wearing shorts and everything.
Bro, remember when your dad told us that story of the dude who was running up in nursing homes, punching old people and running out?
Mm-hmm.
What's worse, that or the random Dollar General cum shot?
I don't know. If it's an old person with a strong chin, I'd rather take the punch. If a motherfucker gets bodily fluids on me, oh boy. Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the reason I asked this, oh god damn it, I'm gonna have to pull it up on my phone because it's age restricted. Um, God damn it, oh my god, this is absolutely insane. When I saw this, I was like, this can't be real. Apparently, it's very real. Um,
That dudes be doing this? Yeah. It's
No, it's
all
very real. There's a whole porn category for it.
no.
so a
Mm-hmm.
man ejaculated on a woman at a gun show. If you know this man, report him to the police. He needs to go to jail. So they got a picture of him and posted on like somebody's like Instagram story or
They
whatever.
got a picture of him.
This nigga, he looked like the type to do this. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I hate to judge people by pictures, but it looks like he did that shit.
Take a
So the
screenshot.
Instagram
Put it in the group chat. I want to see it.
the, the Instagram caption says this is him. The thing is, he even went to the toilet to clean up after himself and even changed his outfit. That's when he got caught. Someone said, I've been waiting years to see Gunna perform, and people that know me know how much I love him. Oh, this is the chick apparently who he did it to. Instead, a sick individual decided to ruin my experience and turn it into the worst night of my life. When women are honestly not safe, how could this individual nut on me as in I felt a white substance on me and even saw his penis poking out? He had no remorse in his eyes. I spent my whole night crying and in disgust. I'm putting it in a group chat. He 100% looked like he did that shit.
Oh, just thinking about it
Um,
makes me want to gag. Ugh.
Oh, they escorted him out the building. They got video of him being escorted.
Oh my god. See,
Someone asked,
That
"Is there
should
a
be a
at least
guillotine?"
fucking third degree assault.
Dollar General dude had the brains to run off. He straight ran.
This fool, who brings a change of
Stop.
clothes to a concert? A dude, especially. He looked like he
Somebody
did that
that
shit, don't he?
somebody
The
that
nigga's a
had
serial
the
nutter.
nerve of
That
doing
ashy
this
ass
and thought that he
lips.
might get something on him.
No.
This is crazy.
He looked like
I don't.
homeboy from Belly. I'm gonna drop dime on this nigga. I don't like that shit. He
I
looked
don't
just
mean to
like him.
laugh. I'm not laughing at the woman's misfortune.
No.
I just think this is absolutely fucking insane. This is insane, right? Like, I'm not the only one that thinks this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
this is
insane.
disgusting.
How the
Absolutely.
fuck do you like? I'm gonna say this, and God knows, I don't know if me and my dick are just on the same page to be doing that. It's like I'm just,
I mean, they
I
had
just
to
don't.
be like priming that shit first, right? Like,
Nigga primed his dick at a gun show.
That's crazy,
Imagine,
dog.
imagine if he was performing "Fuck You Mean" as it happened. That would be crazy.
oh my god.
I tried so hard not to laugh at this, but this is fucking insane. This is absolutely
That's why.
insane. I've never heard.
That's why you got to keep a poker on you at all times. I would have poked his ass the fuck up. I promise you.
For real.
I feel bad for Shorty. Sweetheart, I don't know who you are. I apologize that you had to go through this just insane experience. Thoughts and prayers. He's definitely he's gonna have to register as a sex offender behind this. I don't think there's any way out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
No.
definitely
Yeah.
it's gonna be a dot over his place of his residence.
Yeah. He's a dot in this moment for it.
I would imagine Live Nation runs a great percentage of the venues in the United States of America. I would imagine he's probably banned from any Live Nation venue as a result of this.
Yeah.
He
He
ain't
might
gonna be
be,
able to go around no school. Damn Live Nation.
yeah. He literally. I hope it was worth it, my boy. I hope it was worth your face is out there. Imagine finding a girlfriend after this. You won't be going to any basketball games, football games, concerts, any of that stuff. You can't be around schools. You can't be around parks. All of that because you wanted to pull your joint out and just be free at a Gunna concert. And also, it happening at a Gunna concert is just still like blowing my shit. Like, my nigga, like, seriously though, imagine if he was performing "Fuck You Mean" when this nigga nutted, like, and old girl was like, "Fuck you mean?" Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But we did answer one question. So we know that nobody has ever publicly let
Did that
one
to
go
me?
on you.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not on my
Okay.
bucket list either. I'm not asking for that from anyone
Well,
at all. So
yeah,
not
yo,
my
Jesse,
thing.
if anything should happen, oh, your boy. That's crazy. But the funny thing is, there are some women out there that have that on their bucket list. Like the OnlyFans girl who had sex with like 100,000, like she had sex with, I think it was 100 or 1,000 people or something like that. She's pregnant and she don't know which one of them the baby is the father of the baby. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, there is a
They got
full
it.
porn category of this same scenario. It's a fetish. People, it's normal. It's more normal than what people think.
That's crazy.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that porn category. I'm just saying.
I guarantee if you like,
It's not on my For You.
what, like on Pornhub has like a For You page or whatever?
No, I don't use Pornhub.
Oh.
But it does have like today's selection or like what you might like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Not for me.
That's crazy.
Not for me.
That's fucking crazy. Like fuck you mean. Seriously, fuck you mean. That's fucking nuts, dog. Thoughts and prayers, man. Thoughts and prayers. No more public ejaculations.
She's
To homeboy,
therapy. I know I would.
Look, like Storo said, he's not allowed near a school, a park. His shit is gonna look like the Not Like Us fucking single artwork with red dots over his fucking house. It's over, my boy. Mm-hmm. It is over. Imagine trying to get a date now and be like, yo, you look like the dude that nutted on girl at the Gunna show. No, I don't want to go to Benihana with you. I'm just
That
I'm
nigga
you.
wasn't getting no date anytime soon looking at that picture anyway, so that's why he's out doing that shit.
If he wasn't a serial nutter, and you weren't married, would you have went on a date with him?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking. I said if you weren't
standards.
Okay, I'll give you that. I will give you that. I'll give you that.
Not very high standards, but
don't look now. That's crazy. You wait a minute. You don't never mind. Don't look now, but Netflix is raising their prices yet again. New prices. Ad tier $8.99 per month. Standard $19.99 per month. Premium $24.99 per month. keep in reminder, they just raised their prices last year. And now I think the highest tier used to come with 4K streaming. You have to pay extra if you no, it's Amazon Prime that took away 4K. You have to pay extra for Amazon Prime, even if you're like on the highest tier.
That's fucked up.
Well, that's
This
because
is
they're doing all this acquisitions and buying all these other companies and all of that, putting them under their umbrella. So you got to get
well,
that
they
money
were
back somehow.
who else? Because the Warner deal fell through. Paramount got Warner because Trump helped them get that deal. Because Netflix didn't want to play ball with Trump, which I salute them for that. But it cost them the Warner Brothers acquisition. So Paramount got Warner Brothers now. So unless they are funding other,
Who
well,
just swooped up HBO? Somebody got some HBO content too,
that
didn't
was
they?
Paramount. Warner
Okay.
HBO is under Warner, so that was them.
Mm.
So yeah, I Netflix is always funding something. I mean, we obviously talked about the Floyd situation. They had the Mike Tyson fight. They've had some other stuff. They've got WWE. So I get it. They're always funding something. I just these prices continue to go up, and I think we're in an era now where it's not so much. It's about consolidation of assets. Like, what does your portfolio look like? And that will indeed help your stock price go up and stuff like that. And then, you know, I don't know what Netflix stock, what a share of Netflix stock cost in 1999 versus what it costs today, right? But imagine if you got in on the ground fucking floor, right? You don't have to do shit for the rest of your life if you truly don't want to. I still think this is a bit egregious. I just if I'm paying for ads, fine, $8.99. But if I'm paying standard and I don't want ads, I shouldn't. So it's $5 more for premium. Like, is the content tiered? Is certain content only available on different tiers? I don't understand how that works.
Mm-mm. It's just
So then,
certain things. Typically, the tier is how many
how
televisions or
many? Okay, devices.
yeah, devices
Yeah.
can you
Okay.
have on at one time?
Remember the early days where you just give your password out and you can't like
Yeah.
Disney cracked down on it, Netflix cracked down on it. Paramount hasn't yet, but with this HBO, this Warner HBO acquisition, it's definitely coming at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it, it's just funny that like 10 years ago, everybody said, get rid of the cable. You don't need cable. Just get rid of cable, blah, 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 blah. And here the fuck we are to watch everything you want to watch. If you bundle all the services, you're essentially paying a cable bill.
Right.
So it's and at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Everything's getting exponentially more expensive. To that same fact, I want to talk about this. So, do y'all remember when we were kids? The longer a console was out, the price would go down,
Right.
right? So, I will say this: me and my friends, generally, when we were kids, we all got our Nintendo when the price went down to $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
the Super Nintendo probably came like 2 years after that. The Sega Genesis went down in price after it had been on the market for a while. So Microsoft had done this, and I understand why they did it. I'm not championing it. When you spend, essentially, Microsoft investors gave Phil Spencer a blank check because the word was Xbox has no games. And I remember me, you, Colby, Justin, we were all like on the phone that day when the pre-orders went live for the Series X and the Series S, right? And the day before, Microsoft announced that they had bought Bethesda ZeniMax, and that was like $6 billion or something like that. So then, fast forward to January of 22, they spent $79 billion acquiring Activision Blizzard King. And they're like, well, we want the mobile space. My mom plays Candy Crush. My mother is not your target demographic. I'm your target demographic because I'm a true gamer. You bought it so you could have Call of Duty. Let's be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony's like, no, this is bullshit. We're going to block this because if Microsoft makes Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox platform, there is no other first person shooter that can match that.
Right.
So then all these regulatory boards around the country, around the world start blocking it as well. So the FTC blocked it here in the US. So Microsoft had to go to court about this and they had to give up all these documents and unredact them. So we found out Microsoft did indeed try to buy Sega. Sega didn't sell. Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo and Nintendo basically told them to go fuck themselves. And they also said we're going to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for at least 10 more years. We have a signed agreement for that. We're bringing Call of Duty to Nintendo. Um, they said that they would not raise the price of Game Pass or Xbox consoles, and that was a lie. Game Pass went up twice last year alone. Game Pass Ultimate gave you PC, console, xCloud streaming. I could play on my iPad, my computer, Xbox, a smart TV, my phone, all that. Then it went up to $20. And then they raised it to $30. $30 at 12 months a year is $365. The Xbox Series S launched at $300. You cannot have a subscription service that costs more than your console. That is counterproductive. So, while this is happening, Sony's laying in the weeds. Now, PlayStation consoles went up $50 last year. Now, the current economic climate across the entire world for storage media, number one, because everybody wants to use Chat GPT and Copilot and Gemini and OpenAI, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff uses RAM because they're building these data centers and they have to power them using RAM. Every time you use AI, there's like a forest where a tree's dying somewhere. The water it takes to, like, for those machines to cool down, it's going to seriously drop the ocean if people keep using AI at this space.
It's ruining
So
the environment. Absolutely, yeah.
So everybody's like, I'm gonna build a PC. I'm like, hey, it's not a good time. They're like, why? I'm like, RAM is too expensive. The RAM that I have in my PC, I bought in 2020 and it was $75. And I've got like 64 gigs of RAM in my PC. Those same two sticks of RAM now go for $550. The last time I checked, and that was 2 months ago.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? So consoles generally have a shelf life of 5 to 6 years before the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 generation, because that was during the second Bush administration where we hit that recession, right? That's why those consoles were on the market for 7 years. And then the last generation was 2013 to 2020. So the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series consoles released within 2 days of each other. The Xbox consoles came out November 10th of 2020, and the PlayStation 5 came out November 12th of 2020. So now Sony has in fact raised the prices. So these are the prices of PlayStation hardware going forward, and this takes effect on April 2nd. PlayStation 5, 549 to 649. PlayStation 5 digital, 499 to 599. PlayStation 5 Pro, 749 to 99. I'm sorry, 749 to 899. And the PlayStation Portal just went up to 250, I believe. A console is supposed to get cheaper as the life goes on. When we get to November, this will be year 6 of both the PlayStation 5 consoles and the Xbox Series consoles. Not only have they gone down, they've gone up exponentially. Gaming is a hobby. It's not a necessity, but it's hard now. For the last few generations, going back to the Xbox 360, I've had every console that was available at market at that time. I have a PlayStation. I actually have as a PlayStation 5 in the living room. Kennedy's got her PlayStation 5, and I have a PlayStation 5 Pro up here. I gave Kennedy my Switch when I got the Switch 2. I have an Xbox Series X and an S, and I've got my gaming PC. Next generation, I don't think I'm going to have every console. I'm just like, truthfully, it's going to be Xbox who's going to get cut out because they're making the PC console hybrid and they're talking $1,200 to $1,500. Like, please tell me how that works. In this economy, that just doesn't work.
No.
Now, Nintendo is more than likely going to raise the price on the Switch 2. They've cut production by about 2 million units because they did not sell as many as they thought they would last year in the holiday
So that's
season.
what, to me, that's what makes it counterproductive. You're down in production, but you raise the price. So not only are you not making a lot, but you phase out 30-40% of your customer base, maybe more.
So the thing about
Here's how
that
they
too is, sorry, you want to go?
No, you go first. You go first.
Okay. So the thing about that too, though, is whenever they raise prices, they're trying to say, "Oh, but this is better." So you want to spend the money because this is better than what you already have. That's the thought process behind that, as far as marketing goes. Because once you start getting up to those higher prices, that's going into a more niche part of marketing. So you're marketing people who want to spend the money, want the best out of the best, versus the people who are like, well, this is just a hobby. You know, us working class people who are just like, I just like playing COD sometimes, or I just like playing
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to market the niche part of people who want the best of the best, or the even streamers are going to want to get the
Yeah.
best consoles all the time. So it's not really necessarily, I mean, they are cutting out a lot of people out of that market, but in the end they're going to go into this other tier of marketing where it's higher paying people versus
And I definitely get that. And so what you're doing is you're cutting out the everyday my child likes to play games. You're marketing to the streamers, but these folks are people who are already making money off using the console.
The
So it's
gaming.
kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like the regular clothes versus designer clothes.
exactly.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can pay, if I'm into clothes and this is what I really do, I'll pay for what I want. I'll pay for that quality. I'll pay for this. I'll pay for that. But there's a lot more of the average Joe Schmo that deals with this than there is the streamer.
Hmm.
So it's
Okay.
going to backfire, I believe.
I, you both make actually very, very valid points. Here's the thing. So Nintendo teased the Switch 2 in January of last year, and then they did a full blown rollout in April. And then they did a whole Nintendo Direct, and then they told us pre orders will go live. I think it was that Friday. That Thursday is the day Trump announced that he was going to impose tariffs on foreign exporters and stuff like that. So Nintendo had to
Mm-hmm.
pause, and they're like, this is going to affect business. We will have to get back to you with the pre-order date. And I think pre-orders went live the next week. They had to push it. They didn't change the price of the console. It was the accessories, the Pro controller, the price of Joy-Con separate from the console itself. All that stuff had to go up to a certain degree. Now, to your point about the streamers, this is the problem, and this is where they shoot themselves in the foot. Sony, Microsoft and Sony are still brand names. For all the computers across the world, 80% of them use Windows, right? So Microsoft, they're not in a bad, they're $1 trillion company, right?
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation is keeping the lights on at Sony. Sony Pictures is down. Sony Music ain't gonna jump up until Beyonce drops an album or Future or whoever else is signed to Epic. But they're still not gonna do the business that PlayStation does. PlayStation literally keeps the lights on at Sony. Since 2020, PlayStation has closed somewhere around 11 studios. AAA game development has ballooned to a point where it's $200 million to develop a game and then it comes out and it's a fucking dud, which is a problem. There's only so many Naughty Dogs, there's only so many Rockstars, there's only so many Sony Santa Monicas, and there's only so many Nintendo R&D ones. That's why Microsoft decided if we can't beat them, we have to join them. We are going to spend $80 billion to create Xbox Game Studios. Now, the problem with that is that you have investors. And yeah, Phil, it's cool you did this. When do I get my money back? I gave you X amount of money. You said this would help you sell consoles, and it hasn't. Microsoft stopped counting console sales because they plateaued somewhere around 30 million. When the Series X and S came out, it was the biggest release day for any Xbox console. But at some point, it plateaued. Why? Because Halo was not available at launch, and other games were not available at launch. Well, then when you spend $70 billion, the investors want their money back. You've got to get that money back in blood. So what happened was Microsoft said there is no hard line. Any game that comes out can now be put on a PlayStation console. So Starfield comes to PlayStation on April 7th. Halo, the next Halo game is coming to PlayStation. Gears of War E-Day is coming to PlayStation. Forza Horizon 5 is already on PlayStation. What's the pirate game? Sea of Thieves is on PlayStation, so on and so forth. Hi-Fi Rush. And those games sold really well on PlayStation. So super duper, I'm pro Xbox guys are like, we want exclusives. Microsoft is not opening that door back up. It's just not fucking happening. What Nintendo can do is blame it on the economy more than PlayStation and Xbox can to a certain extent because they were the first to release a console under the Trump tariffs. So if the price goes up, it's like, well, the thing about it, Donald Trump does not understand that the tariffs that you impose on foreign lands affects us as consumers. I have an iPhone. I know you two have an iPhone.
Hmm.
iPhones aren't made in the US. I'm on a MacBook. This wasn't made in the US. Our consoles aren't made in the US. Our TVs are not made in the US. They just
Right.
aren't. All of our best goods are made in foreign lands. So when you impose those tariffs, we as the consumer eat that cost when the price goes up. And that's exactly what's happening now. My issue is the fact that the cost of the console has gone up instead of going down as it historically has. And that's an issue. To Sterl's point, they can market the Xbox. It's called Project Helix. We don't know what the consumer name would be. They can market that to streamers. But I remember in 2006 when the PlayStation 3 came out and I slept on the fucking garden floor. Walmart Warrenton. Remember, you took me up there. Still took me up there. I slept on the fucking garden floor, the garden department floor for like 12 hours to get a PlayStation 3. There were 20 people in that line. Only me and this kid were keeping it. His parents, he cut a bunch of lawns all year round to raise that money, and he just wanted to play games. Everybody else was putting theirs on eBay that night. I remember coming home, my mom being like, "Why would you spend $1,500 on a video game?" I'm like, "I didn't spend $1,500." She's like, "It is $1,500." I'm like, "Here's my receipt. It's $600." And she's like, "The news said 15." I'm like, "Well, stop watching the news. That's your problem." So after that happened, Sony knew that they could not do that again. So when they came to market with the PlayStation 4, it was $200 cheaper. And Microsoft came at $500 because they included the Kinect in the box. And eventually, a year in, Sony's beating the shit out of them in sales. They had to take the Kinect out of the
Connect out.
box
Yep, I remember that.
because they were getting killed. We're at a point now. Shout out Jack and shout out BG, and especially sending prayers to Jack. His mom is going through some stuff right now. They were having a conversation on Weapon Wheel podcast, and Jack's like, I can see a world where the PlayStation 6 launches at $1,000. And BG is like, you're out of your mind. Jack was not wrong. If Microsoft is telling us already that the next console is going to be a PC console hybrid, and they said it's a premium product, so it's going to have a premium price, you're telling me this thing is releasing at least $1,000, bare minimum.
Bear. Mm-hmm.
So Sony is saying to themselves, well, if they can fucking do it, and we know that we've got probably The Last of Us 3 and the next God of War game and Spider-Man 3 and then the X-Men game. Insomniac does not fucking miss. Shout out Insomniac Games for keeping the PlayStation 5 alive. And then the next Gran Turismo and whatever the fuck they have coming next generation. And Microsoft is going to have a very big output just because they have a ton of studios. And Sony's saying, but we've got Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog makes the fucking Last of Us. We can sell this console at $1,000, and then we can turn around and sell the PlayStation 6 Pro because it's going to happen at $1,200. And then at that point, this is what pissed people off about the Switch too. Nintendo is never supposed to come to market at the same price that Microsoft and Sony are. And the Switch came in at, I think, $450, and it was $500 if you got the Mario Kart World Bundle, which I got. And when people saw the price, everybody's like, I'm not paying that much money for a fucking Nintendo console.
I said that. I don't have the Nintendo or the Switch 2.
I have it, but like I spend a lot of time outside of this podcast. I have the Patreon stuff, and I do a lot of, recording Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for Patreon right now. And I just did what did I do? I just did Red Dead Redemption 2, and before that I did Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then I'm going to go back and do Red Dead 1 and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So do I need this? Yeah. Do I need my PC? Yeah. I'm a gamer. Not to say you guys aren't. We are all gamers. But this is something that, like, people are like, how much time did you spend gaming? I'm like, well, how much time did I spend gaming that I recorded for Patreon versus how much time I spent gaming just enjoying video games?
Yeah.
And it's probably more on Patreon, on the Patreon side. This is a disaster. Nintendo, I guarantee before the end of the year, the Switch 2 standalone, no game bundled, I believe it's going to come in at $500, and then any bundle is going to be $550, $560 or more. It's inevitable because Sony gave them the green light. Like the fact that when Mario Kart World, if you bought the bundle, it was $500, but if you bought Mario Kart World alone, it was $80. And everybody's like, wait a minute, an $80 fucking Nintendo game. We're getting out of hand here. People don't remember in the Nintendo 64 era, they were $90 games. In the Super Nintendo era, they were $80, $90 games, right? 60 just became the base for so long, and then we went up to 70, and like, But yeah, Mario Kart World launching at $80, the conversation changed. It's like, okay, if they're going to charge us $80 for Mario Kart World, how much are they going to charge us for Grand Theft Auto 6, which is going to break sales records within the first day? I don't know about y'all, but I'm putting in PTO. I will not be at work on November 19th because I will be playing fucking Grand Theft Auto 6. And they know this. They know this right the fuck now. You know what I mean? But I just find it funny that we all remember the first time we picked up a controller and the whole world fell in love with the Nintendo Entertainment System. I already have my tickets for Super Mario Galaxy movie on April 2nd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we remember that price used to go down the further along that console got into its life cycle. And here we are
Absolutely.
where the PlayStation has increased by $100 since it launched back in 2020, and so have the Xbox consoles. This is absolutely disgusting. Just absolutely fucking disgusting. I cannot stomach this. Like, I understand business and I understand the economy and the fact that RAM, and also, even if you take away the tariffs, Chat GPT is, people don't know it. They're like, why is everything going up? Because you, instead of doing the research and writing your own fucking paper and, for your thesis for your college class, you let Chat GPT write the paper for you. And that stuff runs on RAMs. Our consoles, our computers, our phone, all of that runs on fucking RAM. And they're taking it all so you can use fucking Chat GPT. So the price goes up. So we, as the consumer, have to eat the price. It's fucking disgusting, man.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's absolutely disgusting. And I will tell you guys, by the time this comes, the PlayStation price increases take effect April 2nd. That's in what, 3 days, 4 days, or something like that. Nintendo has not announced the price increase yet. It is inadvertently coming. I'm telling you that right now. If you want a Switch 2, now is the time to buy it because number one, they've cut production in half. And number two, that price is going up at some point before the end of 2026. So I would urge you to go out and buy it now. If you want a PlayStation 5, so GameStop is giving people $69 to ditch PlayStation.
Dude, GameStop
60, I was like,
always been like that though.
So fucked up. $69 not doing anything when the console is $600, dumbass.
Yeah.
What I would say is go look for a refurbished PlayStation 5. Either from the PlayStation Direct website or unfortunately GameStop, or if you have a Slackers in your area or something like that, look for a refurb. They generally do test them very well before they put them back out for sale. Unless you're the type of person who has to have the exact packaging and all that stuff like that. I get it. But if you want to switch to, buy it now before the price goes up and also before they cut production this year, which is going to happen. This is very interesting. Who remembers being at the point, we're all parents, where we had to send our kids to daycare?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. Okay, so a preschool executive is accused of stealing $3 million worth of students' tuition and spending it. Are y'all ready for this one? Buying $350,000 worth of WWE VIP tickets and meet and greets. Let me tell you something. If I want to see Randy Orton, I'm just going to drive to St. Charles and hang out at the gas station. I will pay to see Bailey. I love Bailey. I love you. I love you, Bailey. I'll pay to see Bailey. But if I want to see Randy, I'm just going to go to the gas station in St. Charles and hang out for an hour. He's got to get gas at some fucking point. But if I found out, if my kid was still in daycare and I found out my tuition money was going to WWE meet and greets, we gonna have a fucking Royal Rumble in that daycare office. That I promise you.
I'm gonna ask you what your favorite wrestler's name is, and I'm gonna promise you I'm gonna do the finishing move right on your motherfucking ass right there. So yeah,
right on your head top.
That's crazy.
So they were embezzling that money though,
and spending it on WWE tickets and meet and greets.
See, if
VIP for
if it was like their own pay, like if it was like that's what I made, like okay.
If that's what you want to do,
but if you're embezzling my fucking money.
1 second, I got you. Keep talking.
If you're embezzling my fucking money and spending it on something stupid like that, bitch, come on now.
Yeah,
We're gonna have problems.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you something. I'm all for it. All right. You see what I'm saying? I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This ain't for play pay. I had to earn these shits. No, I'm joking. These are real and these are not cheap. Let me tell you that. But even I know it's wrong to embezzle funds. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They said one employee. Not everybody there was in on it. So imagine you get the call, we didn't get your payment for little Zachary or whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, you did. My bank statement shows you cashed the check or whatever the fuck. We don't show a payment. And I find out Linda at the front desk is front row at Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, and God knows probably fucking WrestleMania. Then yeah, we're gonna have a championship match, and I might just hit you with this fucking belt because that's crazy. That's absolutely fucking crazy. Yo, dead ass. Like embezzlement is always a weird thing to me. It's like you can't get it, you don't need it. If you can't get it, you just don't need it. WWE pay-per-view tickets are not cheap. WWE tickets in general for live events are not cheap anymore, especially since they partnered. They sold to TKO, the company that owns UFC. So they're not cheap. And they weren't particularly cheap beforehand. I haven't seen a WWE pay-per-view since they took them off of Peacock back in the fall. Now they partnered with ESPN and it's $30. It's like that's the same price we paid for pay-per-views back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like this could be the first WrestleMania I've missed in like 10 or like I think the WWE network started in 2013. Like 2012. No, I saw 2012 WrestleMania. I think the last time I missed the WrestleMania was like 2010 or something like that. It's just that's absolutely crazy. Insane. But Jesus fucking, I'd have rock bottom her ass. Like that's she would have caught a smooth stone cold stunner. I'm breaking out. First, I'm gonna hit you with the sweet chin music, a la Shawn Michaels. Then when you get up off the floor, I'm waiting like The Rock. And then I'm putting you through the desk. And then if you get up behind that, I might just Undertaker choke slam you. I don't know. But when I find out that you've been taking pictures with fucking Randy Orton and Montez Ford and Bianca Belair and shit with my good hard-earned money, we've got to wrestle. We got to wrestle. When Marlon put Dave Mama in that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We go tussle.
Or when old boy slammed Silk through that table.
Oh, wait, what?
Who was that? Romeo? Where he rock bottom Silk through that table?
No! You swear to God.
Nah, yeah, hell yeah.
Bro put Silk through a table?
A whole table in the middle of the gym class.
Damn. Was he joking or they got into it?
Nah, they was playing, but she went through that motherfucker for real. Nah,
That's crazy.
But yeah, he put her through that motherfucker for sure.
Imagine getting put through a fucking tabletop.
That was real, Jack. That shit was real.
I could not imagine getting put through a fucking table, dog. That's fucking insane. That's insane. Like, you got to cut me a check after that. Get up, yo, go to the ATM real quick. I'm dusting myself. Yeah, it's ATM right outside. You owe me reparations for that. That's fucking crazy, dog. You're not putting me through no fucking table. That's fucking nuts. Point blank period. I'm sorry. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Even in my greatest wrestling fantasy days, I never put a motherfucker through a table. That's egregious. Shout out Rose. Shout out Silk. So the last topic I got, it breaks my heart to even talk about this. I'm gonna give y'all a lyric and I want y'all to finish it. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Look, man, I've loved TLC since Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Hat to the Back, What About Your Friends, all that. I remember when TLC first came out and they were like putting condoms on their clothes and everybody was like, this is controversial. Women should be doing this. They basically dressed like another version of Criss Cross. Like Left Eye lived in Jermaine Dupri's closet. She was there when Criss Cross was recording what would become Totally Crossed Out. I'm talking about, I'm 10 years old when TLC comes out. I remember when Crazy Sexy Cool came out, Red Light Special, Creep. Come on, dog. Like, it's fucking TLC. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when Left Eye burnt down Andre Rison's house. I when T Boz dated Mr. Dalvin from Jodeci, like I was there. Never. I remember when Chili dated fucking Usher, and that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my fucking wildest dreams did I think that Chili would be a fucking Trump supporter. Busted. Chili made
Not
several.
surprised. I don't know why you saying this. Why are you surprised?
Why are you not surprised?
Chili done had several a lot of the shit that she was going through when she was going through with Usher. She ain't the yeah, she's been a piece of shit for a while.
True. So this woman on Thread said that her baby daddy dated Chili. This is very interesting. She said, and I quote, her baby daddy was a super duper deadbeat. And she was like, Chili made him mature and step up and be a better father. And then in 2016, she voted for Trump and he dumped her ass. Now, Chili is famously with Matthew Lawrence. Do y'all remember Matthew Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Yeah,
on
From
Boy
the
Meets World. He's Joey
sitcom
Lawrence's
Boys,
little brother.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I know from Boys.
So they're together. So a lot of people apparently think it's Matthew that got her to vote for Trump. I don't know what Matthew Lawrence's political allegiance is. So Chili tried to clean the shit up when they found out last night, and she was like, "No, I made donations to the veterans," and she was like, "I'm not MAGA. I'm not MAGA. I just was supporting the veterans."
Mm.
So they caught her ass. And when I tell you, Rosanda Thomas, how many win red, win red, win red, win red? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Trump National Community, JFC Incorporated, Never Surrender Incorporated, Never Surrender Incorporated, Trump National Committee, Never Surrender, win red. So after she came out with that fucking statement, TLC's Chili claims she accidentally shared a negative post about former First Lady Michelle Obama on social media and that any political donations she made were meant to help the veterans. So I didn't even know this information was public, but some dude found her and hit her with the "Is this you?" and then her at. You didn't mistakenly try to help the veterans. You paid directly to Trump's campaign.
Mm-hmm. Like just
When they say
don't try to
when they
make
say
it.
bad things happen to good people, I generally don't always believe that. I think that bad things happen to bad people who pose as good people. So, back in February, the U.S. men's and women's hockey team won gold. And after the men won gold, Kash Patel of the FBI, who just had his email hacked by Iran a couple of days ago, the Kash Patel, who's the director of the FBI, who was a podcaster a year and a half ago, I don't know how the fuck he's qualified, ended up in the locker room celebrating with the men's team. And then they took a call and joked around with Trump. Now, there's a lot of guys on that team I was a huge fan of. And then the shit happened, and then Trump said, I guess I got to invite the women too. And then the guys started laughing. I'm like, y'all are fucking bugging. So, of course, these assholes went to see Trump at the White House. There was only one player who didn't, a couple players who didn't go. I can't remember who they were. Interestingly enough, the amount of injuries that happened to some of the players on the men's gold medal team afterwards. Austin Matthews came back and got booed because he plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs and U.S. played Canada in the gold medal game. So you're booed in the country you play for. And then Austin Matthews gets hit in the knee by Radko Gudas, and he's out for the rest of the season with a torn MCL. Dylan Larkin, the captain of the Red Wings, their first line centerman, he comes back and gets fucking injured. Jack and Quinn, nothing has happened to them so far. Tage Thompson, who was actually originally drafted by the Blues, we sent him to Buffalo in the Ryan O'Reilly trade, which helped us win the Cup. Nothing bad has happened to him yet. But I find it funny that you idiots went to the White House and then you all came back and then the injury bugs seem to find you guys. Austin Matthews got hit. And as the captain of your hockey team, you can never be taken out by the opposition without your teammates jumping up and beating the shit out of him. Austin Matthews went down. His teammates claimed they didn't see it. William Nylander was staring directly at the fucking play. Nobody stuck up for you. So maybe, Austin, you're a bad person. I don't know. Dylan Larkin, I liked you. Maybe you are, in fact, a bad person as well. I don't know. I will tell you this. TLC has had a rough time since Left Eye died. Remember when they did that Kickstarter to raise money for their new album, and the people that invested the most would get to have like a sleepover with TLC? That album never came out. Those girls never got their sleepover with TLC. T-Boz has not come out to defend Chili. I think T-Boz is kind of like, you on your own with this one. If Left Eye was alive and God rest her soul, I know Left Eye would be cussing Chili the fuck out. I know for sure Left Eye would be cussing Chili the fuck out. I don't know if I ever want to hear another TLC album after this. And again, this goes back to separating the artist from the person that they are.
Right.
But in my opinion, truthfully, TLC died when Left Eye died. And she died in what, 2002? April of 2002?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was never really the biggest TLC fan, so this ain't really.
Really?
Never cared for them for real. They've had some hits, obviously,
Right.
but it just wasn't my speed. So,
I mean, I really rocked with TLC. They got some joints. I remember Drake did the cover of Fan Mail. I thought that was dope. TLC was the highest selling girl group, I think, till Destiny's Child. Until Destiny's Child, like,
Yeah.
that's a fact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they were still iconic, like, and people felt for them because they sold 10 million albums and then they had to file bankruptcy, and everybody's like, this math doesn't work out. How did y'all pull this off? And truthfully, I learned how points on an album worked from TLC explaining how they were broke. You know what I'm saying? I know Usher gets a lot of pussy. Or he's a married man now. I take that back. I know Usher got a lot of pussy. When it came to the Chili and Usher breakup, I did not give a fuck. She would never say what happened. She just said Usher did the ultimate no-no and disrespected me. And Usher was like, it didn't go down like she telling y'all it went down. But again, nobody actually ever said anything. I don't give a fuck what Usher Raymond IV did at this point. I'm on his side. I don't care. Usher could have hit her mama with a car in Atlanta traffic. I'm still on his side. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm on Usher's side. Usher could have locked Chili in a fucking McDonald's freezer, and I'm still on his side.
Not a McDonald's
I
stop.
And her trying to lie, she's gonna have to delete her. She's gonna delete her social media. I don't see her keeping it open at this point.
You don't think so?
They just ran was La Russell ass off of Twitter for that stupid fucking song. Like, man, we never even heard the full song. It was just that bullshit intro. Trump is heaven sent. Even Hitler was heaven sent. It's like, my nigga, you don't understand what that means. You don't understand what that means. And then he doubled down on the shit. And I kept hearing about old boy and hearing about him. And then I start to hear the music. I'm like, this nigga is absolute buns. But I guess it was the fact that he was independent and kind of made himself. That was something to applaud. But when he said the shit about Wayne, I'm not going to hold you. There's a lot of times Wayne was rapping his ass off, but he wasn't really saying shit. I think we can all agree that, right? Yeah. So when he said that, I'm just like, he's not exactly wrong. But Lil Wayne is up here and you're way down here, brother. I think you need to calm down and you need to make some hits before you say that. Like, this nigga made the Carter 2 and the Carter 3, and like, he's responsible for Drop It Like It's Hot. Like, come on, dog. Like, Wayne is an icon. La Russell, like, and truth be told, the nigga raps a lot of shit and says nothing, but he's still Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., aka Lil Wayne.
I mean, La Russell has said a lot of bullshit, but with that, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is not what you say, it's who said it.
It's how you say it and who said it.
If somebody was a relevant podcaster or something of that nature and they had that take, nobody says anything. But since he's an actual rapper who hasn't had a smidgen of the success, a hit or a smidgen of success that Wayne has had, then it goes in an uproar. So I get it.
Yeah, you sound fucking crazy. Right. But yeah, they ran him off of Twitter because he everybody's just like, you made a mistake. I don't think you understand what heaven sent means. And he was like, no, I didn't make a mistake. And it's like, all right, my nigga, like we tried to give you the runway to fix this, and you just like, no, I'm standing 10 toes deep in this bullshit that I'm spewing. They ran him off of Twitter. Chili's gonna run. Like, I don't. Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. I don't know. Y'all think she stays or goes?
She's gonna take up. She's gonna have to take a hiatus. If she does go, it won't be long. But I don't see her just standing and fighting in the fire. No,
Yeah,
But I
she's
mean, the
not
thing
relevant
is,
enough to withstand it. She's not relevant
and
enough
that's
right
what I'm
now to
saying.
withstand it.
She
True.
basically was on a high. TLC never put out that album.
Right.
Y'all raised money for an album that never came out. As a matter of fact, I bet they had to pay them people back. Let's see.
I doubt
Let's
it.
just see.
I doubt they paid anyone.
Let me see. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. So we are in the middle of production on our fourth film, and we raised money through Indiegogo, and we had some things that transpired over the last week in production, and I guess word got back to somebody, and we had to refund a little bit of money to one of the backers, literally just like Friday afternoon. So let's see. DLC Kickstarter album. That was 2017. They announced it in 2019. Did that album ever fucking come out?
No, hell no.
No, it did. It came out June 30th,
Of what?
2017.
That shit must have
Any
been dumpster juice.
Metacritic,
Yeah.
Metacritic, it's a 63 out of 100. Any Decent Music gave it 6.4 out of 10. All Music gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. Clash gave it a 6 out of 10. Drowned in Sound gave it a 7 out of 10. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B minus. The Guardian gave it 4 out of 5 stars. NME gave it 3 out of 5. Pace gave it 6.1 out of 10. Pitchfork gave it 7.4 out of 10. And Pitchfork is very, very, they're like one of the worst publications. Prefix, 7 out of 10. Slant Magazine, 2 out of 5. It debuted at number 38 in the Billboard 200, selling 12,000 equivalent units, 11,000 which were pure sales. The album spent 1 week on the chart, marking TLC's lowest charting studio album and lowest running studio album. The album performed similarly on
Yeah.
the UK album chart. Yeah.
Trash.
No
It's
introduction.
got 11
laid
tracks
back.
on it. Doesn't look like there's a Snoop Dogg feature.
There's a Snoop feature. I think
There's two Snoop
there's two
Dogg
Snoop
features.
I feel like Snoop
Yep.
will do anything. Like he's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it.
Yes.
He's made his money.
They okay.
Whatever the fuck I want.
So there's a deluxe edition with a 2013 re-recording of No Scrubs, 2013 re-recording of Creep, 2013 re-recording of Unpretty, and Baby Baby Baby, as well as Digging on You.
So all they
Babyface
hits basically, besides Waterfalls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Literally, that's the only one.
Trash.
Yeah, I just know, like TLC, like Dallas Austin, LA Reid, Babyface gave them absolute crack. The fact that Chili laid down and had a baby with Dallas Austin and then it didn't work out, that affected the production situation. T-Boz's health. She had sickle cell. That affected it. But ultimately, Left Eye dying is where TLC as a group pretty much died at that point. Like, that was it. That was it. If there were 4 members and 1 passes, you can go on 3 out of 4. Just like nobody died in Destiny's Child. Them hoes just couldn't get along with Beyonce and Kelly. Michelle was the only one who kind of knew her place. So you could go on without LaToya and Latavia, and then eventually without Farrah. You can't go on without Left Eye. I think that's proven. Left Eye was like the secret sauce because Left Eye could sing, and then she can give you a verse as well. You don't think Left Eye was that important? Left Eye was extremely important.
No,
and I think
Left Eye was one of the most. She was the most important of the group. Actually,
remember, yeah, when Left Eye died, TLC died that day, in my opinion. I didn't even know this fucking album came out, so none of us knew this album came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, here we are. That's it. That's it. Like, we're never like. I don't think T-Boz is gonna stop being friends with Chili because they have so much history. I'm talking about they go back to like 1990. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But we're never getting another TLC album. And at this point, I don't feel like we actually need one. We don't need one. We didn't need one before this. We didn't need one before this. We don't need one now. I don't know if they contributed enough to even get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, they did. They definitely did. We're
You
not gonna
think
play with
so?
them like that. Hell yeah, them records that they were selling, like you said, they was the #1 female
One
selling group
selling girl
before
group.
Destiny's Child, and there's no one to break that record since Destiny's Child. So
Here's my
they
thing
definitely
though.
get in.
Salt and Pepper just got in, and they are iconic and they are groundbreaking.
Salt and Pepper ain't TLC.
But they set the stand. Like, let's be real. I know Salt and Pepper rapped in TLC saying, if not for Salt and Pepper, there is no TLC. Let's be
That's
real.
true, but still, there's levels. Salt and Pepper ain't TLC, and I just told you I'm not the biggest TLC fan at all.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you think? And I'm an unabashed Tribe fan. Like, if there's ever a Tribe Called Quest biopic, I am campaigning to play the role of Fife Diggy Dog. Rest in peace, Malik. Do you think TLC is more important than a Tribe Called Quest?
No, but that's still two
Okay, because
totally different levels.
they just got in it.
I mean,
just got in
let's keep it real.
2024.
Bro, Scrubs had every mediocre broad that worked at McDonald's thinking that
Yeah.
you're walking and you're saying something to me about being in the passenger side of a car.
Yeah.
So,
Bro. So Candy, shout out to Candy. I love
Candy Burst. Yeah.
So she just did somebody's podcast, and obviously No Pigeons came behind that.
Mm-hmm.
They never cleared the record. Now the lyrics are different, but it uses the same exact melody and everything.
Yeah.
They never cleared the record. They just went ahead and put it out. So Candy and Tiny split 100% of that record.
The record.
Them dudes didn't make a single penny off of No Pigeons.
That's why you never heard nothing else from them.
Yep, sure in the fuck didn't. Lord Tariq and Peter Gunn, same thing. They didn't clear that Steely Dan record, and that was it. I mean, Hove cleared the Little Orphan Annie sample, but he's never made a dime off of Hard Knock Life, the song. He made money off it helped him sell the album, but he's never made a dime off that song. They got 100%. They took all the publishing in order to clear the sample.
But that was different. Hove was already a household name at that point, so that helped sell tours.
No, that helped him.
That's what I'm saying. It helped him crazy.
Yeah. You got to take a swing, man. You got to take a swing. I don't think that Sporty Thieves, I just don't think that they were going to stick around that long anyway. Like, I think they had one more song, but I can't remember what the fuck it was called.
I don't know.
What was their other single? I think they had another one. Shout out to Candy Burrs. Todd and Candy getting divorced. Hey, Candy. You know what I'm saying? I'll holler at your boy. They were from Yonkers. That tracks.
They had a bunch of records.
Best Man soundtrack.
None of that shit hit. I'm looking at their top 6 records, and the only one that's even notable is No Pigeons.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't have.
They were still putting out albums up into 2023. That's crazy. Well, shout out to Sporty Thieves.
If a tree falls in the woods, did it make some noise or shit?
I
mean, technically it did because it has mass. We just didn't hear it, and just like we ain't heard none of the fucking Sporty Thieves.
So that shit didn't make no noise in my book.
Fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. Because of this, though, if TLC was going to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how long do you think we have to wait to see them? Let's see. When are they eligible for induction? Let's see.
They should have been eligible. They came out in the 90s.
Are they currently on tour with Salt and Pepper and In Vogue? I forgot about that. Ooh, boy. Yes. Ooh. Well then. Oh man. I mean, that makes sense. TLC, Salt and Pepper, In Vogue, they were like fucking Salt and Pepper at that point. What a Man and Let's Talk About Sex comes out. In Vogue, like they were that, you know what I'm saying, until Dawn lost her mind and now she's living in her fucking car and claims she loves it. I don't fucking know. Don't Dawn was fine, but you know who else was fine? The one that was in Juice that Q was messing with.
The main singer. I can't think of her name, but yeah.
No, Dawn was the main one. I'm pretty sure. Hold
No,
on.
you're talking about the tall one. She
That's
was well.
Dawn.
Dawn ain't the tall
Dawn
one.
is
No.
Dawn is the tallest one. Dawn is the one that did. Okay, remember when Set It Off came out and they had that soundtrack and that was the biggest song they had ever done?
Mm-hmm.
And Vogue had hits, but that joint on the Set It Off soundtrack was their biggest single. Dawn left to pursue a solo career because she sang lead on that song. And then we didn't see In Vogue again for quite some time. What is old girl's name? The one that was in Juice.
You're talking about, I don't know if you can see it. You're talking about her. She was the one in Juice. She's the tallest one.
I think it's Terry. Wait, do it again.
With the red hair?
Dawn is down here or down here. That's Dawn at the bottom. Bottom right. The girl up here that played in Juice is her.
Who?
At the top left.
I can barely tell. Hold on. Let's see.
No, up here. My bad. She's over here with the black hat. Over here. Top right.
No. Okay. Cindy was in Juice.
Yeah. This girl here. Top.
I think that's Cindy. I can't tell. It's yeah.
Group chat.
Maybe. Yeah. Put it in the fucking chat joint. Put it in the chat.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cindy was in Malcolm and Eddie. She was on the Wayans Brothers. She was Dana Jones in the Broadway production of Dreamgirls. Shout out to Cindy Herron. She was a different type of fine. A different type of fine. Yeah, I don't know. Who the fuck are you? Random Discord fucking friend request. I don't know this person. Any fucking way. I really feel I hope this doesn't affect the tour because Salt and Pepper deserve this. In Vogue deserves this. Man, if I'm one of them and I catch Chili at like if the ticket sales start to slow up and I catch Chili at Craft Services, bitch, you gonna be Chili. Fuck is you talking about?
You wow.
Because ain't no fucking way. Bitch, I need this money. What are you doing?
Absolutely.
You gonna be Chili, goddamn it. Fuck is wrong with you?
Damn.
I just and the fact that she tried to lie about it, like you didn't know this was public information, dummy. Like, what the fuck? Yo, T-Bob's deep voice ass was, I guarantee. Chili, what the fuck kind of shit is this? I know she was not feeling that shit.
Hell no.
T-Bob's rough ass then fucked around and called Mac 10. Fuck out of here. Oh man. Shout out In Vogue. Shout out Salt Pep. Shout out Spin. Shout out T-Bob's Rest in Peace Left Eye Chili. I ain't got shit for you. I really don't. I cannot. I ain't got shit for you. And I'm talking about, I remember when the Creep video debuted, like they was wearing them silk pajamas. Oh my fucking God. And everybody loved Chili when we were younger. Like, it was like, yo, T-Bob's all right, left eye's kind of dudeish, but the dark skin shorty with the wavy hair, she's something. And look, man, I don't know what the fuck to do with Rosanda Chili Thomas. I'm not feeling this at all. At all. Like, here's my thing. Political allegiance is one thing, right? But Donald Trump, that doesn't fall under political allegiance. He wants to be a dictator. Like, I remember during the Bush administration, we were like, it can't get any worse than this. And here we are 20 years later, like, you know what? George Bush really wasn't all that bad. Right. Like, that's really where we are. Like, Trump has probably, like, I can't think of a worse U.S. president. Like, the closest is maybe Taft. Like, I just, that nigga Grover Cleveland in the ground, like, yo, this is who y'all niggas putting off? This is fucking crazy. I telling you, FDR, like, yo, what the fuck is going on down there? Abraham Lincoln, like, yeah, niggas fucked up. This is crazy, dog. This is one like so again, political allegiance. If you're a Republican and you're anti-Trump, I don't care that you're a fucking Republican, but this is just fucking bad. I have like again, shout out Salt, Pep, Spinderella, whoever is actually showing up for In Vogue on that tour. I know Dawn ain't out there. She's somewhere living under the highway in her car. And shout out T-Boz. But she likes it. Apparently Dawn likes it. She said it's better. I don't know. Um, I ain't got nothing for. I ain't got nothing for you, Chili. Nothing for you. You on your own with this one, sister. You gonna have to figure it the fuck out. And if you don't, well, sweetheart, I just don't give a flying fuck. I don't have anything else. Y'all got anything?
No,
No,
sir.
I'm good.
Definitely
All
good.
right.
Definitely
Well,
good. Good talk. We will see y'all next week.
we'll see
Hopefully
y'all next
everybody's
week. We will
back.
see.
Yeah.
And yeah, like once again, shout out to the teammates and let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Jasmine actually has to take it slow for a while, so we may be without her for a couple of episodes. We're sending thoughts and prayers, of course. Know that we love you. We can't wait for you to come back.
Mm-hmm.
The flu was whooping Kobe's ass right now, and my condolences because it beat the shit out of me last week. So get better, bro. We will see you soon.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me over on patreon.com/the Derek Lamont Experience. The link is in the episode details. I do a little bit of everything over there. The Week in Gaming, The Last Word with Derek Lamont. I have a weekly newsletter. Those three things you get on the free tier. You get early access on as a paid patron, and then you get those episodes on the free tier as well. And then I have other audio programming and gaming play-alongs. I'm currently recording for this summer. So right now, if you subscribe, you should be able to see all the back catalog, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Red Dead Redemption 2. And then sometime this summer, you'll get the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the Switch version, and some other games. So stay tuned for that. Um, got nothing else. We bid y'all adieu. Oh, shout out to the Cardinals. Yesterday, the Cardinals, Blues, and Battlehawks all won. Big St. Louis. Shout out JJ Weatherholt.
Shout
Cardinal
out, fellas.
fans, please be patient. We don't want another Jordan Walker situation on our hands. They sent him back down to AAA and they fucked with his swing and he looked good. He did a 3-run home run today. So shout out to Jordan Walker for making it back. Shout out JJ Weatherholt. First career big league hit was a home run. So shout out JJ. And he drove in the winning run yesterday. So, big
That's what's
deal.
up.
Blues best in the NHL since March 4th, 10-2-1, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but I know we have the best record in the league. We've got 3 picks in the first round of the draft this year coming up. So
Oh yeah.
let's see what we can do. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Battlehawks. I don't watch the XFL or UFL, whatever the fuck it is, but go Battlehawks. Ska. That's gonna do it for yours truly. As always, my name is Daniel Derek Ocean. I'm with Big Money Sterl and Awesome Amy. This is Pause Menu Society. Shout out Killer KG and Jasmine. We will see y'all later.
Yep.
Peace out.
Bye.
Peace.